All right, it is election eve across the country, and here in New York, conservatives are preparing to take back the Republican Party. Now, all eyes are focused on New York's 23rd district, where the departure of liberal Republican Didi Scalzo-Fava has opened the door for Conservative Party candidate Doug Hoffman to ride a tidal wave of support all the way to Washington, D.C. Scalzo-Fava's exit now leaves Hoffman to face Democrat Bill Owens, and Scalzo-Fava was so liberal that she quickly endorsed the Democrat Owens and is reportedly making robocalls on his behalf. But that is not stopping Hoffman. After racking up endorsements from former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin, Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty, and Fred and Jeri Thompson, and many others, the latest Siena poll shows him leading Owens by 5 points ahead of tomorrow's election. And joining me now is the candidate himself, Doug Hoffman, along with two of his biggest supporters, Fred and Jeri Thompson of the Jeri and Fred Show, nationally syndicated radio show. Guys, good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Great to see you, Sean.
Pleasure, Sean.
All right. Now, first of all, Doug, I mean, you got to feel pretty good. What did you think about? I was very upset, and I got to give Jeri, who's sitting to your right, credit. She was the first to bring this to my attention, and I got to give her a lot of credit because she really pointed out just how liberal Scalzo-Fava was. And then you got Jeri and Fred, and then Governor Palin obviously played a big role in this, and some other politicians followed suit at that point. Why do you think the Republican Party nominated such a liberal Republican?
Well, I guess we'll never know. The only thing I can say is that it was just party politics behind closed doors, and the bosses decided to just anoint somebody that was there.
Yeah. All right. But nationally, I understand they got as much as, what, $900,000 from the Republican Party. That's got to be a little bit frustrating to you because I've now interviewed you 3 times. You're a conservative Reagan Republican. And here's a woman that supports card check, gay marriage, abortion rights, the stimulus package. And she got the Republican support on it. I frankly didn't understand it.
Well, I don't either. And that's why I decided to run. I just felt that the voters in the 23rd district would not have a choice on the ballot if I didn't put in my hat in the ring, and I felt that I had to do it.
Yeah. All right, Jeri, I got to give, honestly, you were the first person, and you sent me a series of emails as the leader of the...
I know. You know what? Why don't you could admit that I bugged you. I really did bug you, and I really appreciate your being so kind to not put it that way.
No, you didn't.
You're right.
I wasn't paying attention to it as closely as you were, and then I started reading your emails, and I started wrapping my arms around it, and it wasn't just me, by the way. I mean, there were other conservatives. Mark Levin is another one, and we spoke at length about it. How did you pick up on this race before everybody else? What drew you to this?
Well, actually, Mike Long is the head of the Conservative Party in New York, and he and that party of New York had endorsed Fred when Fred ran for president. So we had a relationship there, and we've really, believe it or not, actually cared about the things that Fred ran on. We keep our ear to the ground. We have the radio show. We get to hear lots about what's going on in the country, and we follow these Tea parties like you do. And you're right, Sean, it's you, and it's Mark Levin, and it's the Susan B. Anthony. These grassroots groups are coming up from all around America saying, we're not going to do this. It's not good enough. I'm just not going to have anything to do with a party that chooses someone like that when I know there's someone out there like Doug that's going to stand for the things that we're all fighting for. And what a great story that he's not a politician, that he's a CPA he's a small businessman that knows what the Pelosi agenda is going to do. So God bless him for doing it. We're all here. You should have seen the crowd here. Joe Biden was here and he barely could fill 200 people, and 100 of those were Secret Service. John Rich had these people rocking out there. I mean, I wish we were out there, not in here, so you could all feel it. But I mean, it's really happening, Sean. So thank you to everybody who gave to Doug Hoffman. The $5, the $10, the $50. It worked, and we're here.
Well, it's working now. Go ahead, Doug.
I said I'm very grateful for all the support I got from around the country and within the district. The people really stood up and joined my fight, and I think that's why we're here tonight, and we're hoping for victory tomorrow.
Now, Senator, you really got involved. I assume you were getting the same emails I was getting from Jeri.
Actually, it was a little more pointed than that, Sean. You're right. It's from the same source.
No, yes. but in all honesty, you were the first national figure, and then Governor Palin, I think, was the second big national political figure to jump on board this. But, and you're up there tonight, and John Rich is up there, God bless him, and he's been playing music at this event.
Another great performance.
Oh, he's phenomenal. But, what drew you to this race, Senator?
Well, Sean, I think something very special is happening up here. This is an unusual set of circumstances, and people are shaking their head and saying they've never seen anything like it. And you had two liberal candidates, the party's nominees, and then you had this guy come in from left field who was not a politician and just, took them all on. And, it's we all know the story of Mr. Smith comes to Washington, but this is the real life case of it. And people are simply concerned about the direction their country is going in. They're seeing things change in a way that's not beneficial. They're moving away from common sense values and policies that have made us the strongest and the freest. And they're really concerned. We're spending the birthright of the next generation, and people are coming together across party lines to say no to that.
Senator, are you as angry as I am? I'm kind of angry with the Republican Party, because I think, I've been on the radio shouting this for the longest time. I'm a conservative. I'm a Reagan conservative. And I felt the Republican Party lost some of those conservative values and conservative principles that brought them to power when Reagan was elected, brought them to power in '94. And then they go ahead and pull a boneheaded move like this. And I'm like, you're still not getting it. Do you think this has gone a long way to wake them up?
This has gone a long way. I think that the practical consideration of Skozafava being the only one that could get elected up here ruled out, and of course they were wrong on a couple of very important counts. They misjudged the American people and where the American people are. An ideology like conservative ideology is different from a political party. Political party has to engage in certain practical things, and circumstances change with regard to the candidates and positions and so forth. This case was a no-brainer, incidentally. Yeah. But ideology with not connected with a party can't always win. It'll lose a lot of times. But a party not connected to ideology has no reason to win.
Yeah.
What have you gained if you gain victory under those circumstances if you don't believe in the things that made this country great?
It's like what President Reagan said.
Amen.
No,
yes.
That was very well said. No pale pastels. We want bold color differences. And in this case, Doug, I mean, when Skozafava pulled out and then endorsed the Democrat, I thought that spoke volumes about the very things that Jeri and Fred of the Jeri and Fred show and people like myself were saying.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was saying when I got in this race, and it just proved that I was correct. She was more liberal than a Democrat.
Yeah.
And we all had to stand up and fight for it.
All right. I will say this. Jeri Thompson, you are very persuasive, and I give you a lot of credit because you're way ahead of the curve, and you really deserve it, because I think this really helps.
You don't know the half.
Bless you, Sean. It was a team effort by everybody in America for standing up. Really. And we haven't won yet, so everybody's got to get out to the polls. We got to vote tomorrow. Vote in Virginia, vote in New Jersey, and vote in New York 23.
And we all have to stand up and fight and vote.
Well, I think this is a referendum on a lot of what's been going on in the country, which is moving radically to the left. And I think this election is going to be watched. I hope I'm on the air this time tomorrow night, and I'll be able to declare you the winner. Doug, thanks for being with us.
I hope so, Sean. We're looking forward to that.
All right.
Everybody get up and fight back.
And by the way, if I didn't mention it, it's the Jeri and Fred show. It's nationally syndicated.
Oh, for God's sake.
Thank you, Sean.
There we go.
All right, guys, thank you. Still a lot more to come. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming straight ahead on Hannity.
November 3rd is Accountability Day. Let's pick him up and throw him out.
Election Day Eve predictions from the one and only Dick Morris.
Well, there's not enough right now. I want to remind folks that there will be enough.
Who is to blame for the deadly shortage of H1N1 vaccines?
I will be proud to be called a socialist.
And the return of Jeremiah Wright.
It was a photo op. It was a photo op precisely because he's having big-time trouble on this whole Afghanistan dithering.
Rush slams President Obama's trip to Dover Air Force Base. All of that plus Governor Mike Huckabee, country music star Lori Morgan, and our great American panel. Much more Hannity straight ahead.